5 minutes, and I'll have people honking at me. I'll be like, just give me a minute. I gotta take a picture. Give me 1 minute.
You know,
let me take this picture real quick. My girlfriend yells at me too. We'll be sitting somewhere, and I'll be like, hold on, stop real quick. I'll be sitting there trying to take a picture, trying to get the address, pulling up the map, dropping a pin on my phone, and she's like, these people behind us are gonna yell. It's like, I don't care. I'm gonna make some money. They can wait.
Yeah. When you're tracking down deals, it's all about the deal. It's all about the deal. A lot of times, I was having a conversation with somebody yesterday that's looking to get in real estate investing, and they say, the reason why I'm not investing is because where I'm at financially in my life, I haven't been able to save up the money, and that's one of the biggest myths. That it's money. There's a lot of money out there, a whole ton of money, and there's other creative ways in which you can take down deals of whether it's sub-2 or owner financing, seller carriers, what they call it. Those take no to little money at all. And then the access to capital out there, from private money to hard money and a variety of other ways you can access capital, it's out there. People lend money out there at their IRAs. So money is not the problem, but that's what most people believe is the problem. So that stops them from saying, I'm going to dive into real estate and I'm going to get my journey started. It's been well over a year since I put my own money into a deal in regards to a flip. Now, my acquisitions, my holds, I do put capital into those deals for a variety of reasons, but it's been a while since I put my own money into a deal. And so I'm not speaking on something that I have heard somebody else say or seen somebody else do. I'm speaking on something that I do myself. And if I'm lying, I'm dying, but there's no reason to lie, especially to a community like this that we're building on, right? So why do I say that? Is the deal is the most important thing. If you find the deal, even if you don't know anybody that has hard money or private money or can put up the deposit, if you find the deal, you can partner with somebody. You can say, look, would you rather have 30% of something or 100% of nothing, right? And so if you find a good deal, you can say, Zach, I got this deal. If you could fund it and get it over the hill and give me a 30% stake, I'll bring you in as a partner. Gerald do the same thing. These guys have access to capital. And when you do an approach like that, you are making money. And so there's so many different ways to get it done. But the hardest part for most people in this market and any market is where can I find a deal? And that can be done so many different ways. Zach drives for dollars. Gerald, he wholesales. He does calls. He's hooked up on a dollar. I'm sure you're doing mailers. Gerald, you doing mailers?
No, I just stopped that.
Okay, what's your source of leads right now? Are you pulling lists?
Facebook ads, cold calling.
There you go. And so there's no one way or right way to find deals. You have to turn over every rock. You have to find something that works for you and keep working it, because it's very likely not going to happen the first time. But when you come up with a system and come up with a philosophy of how you're going to track down deals, you put the right systems in place and you knock, you keep turning over those rocks, you're going to find deals left and right. And networking, that's another free one. Go to different meetups, join Facebook groups, communities like this, Instagram live sessions. Those are very good ways to get in contact with people that, whether they're wholesalers, real estate agents, investors, but they have deals, very likely deals that were sent to them that they pass on. So in short, it's all about a deal. We're always going to be talking about deals, but I just want to encourage you guys that if any of you think that money is the challenge, you're wrong, 100%. And I'll be the first one to tell you, we got to find deals, all right? And so I'll just put it out there as well. If any of you find a deal, especially in this community, and you pitch it to me, if it makes sense, I'll partner with you. I'll put up the money quick, all right? So we're good there. Rolando, you're in Fresno, correct?
Yes, sir, yep.
You asked yesterday, you said, hey, if I'm trying to get started in real estate investing, what would I do to start? Was that the question?
Yeah, because that was the question, actually. Just curious as to, how that would, the necessary steps, right? Aside from having a real estate license.
Right. Absolutely. And as we spoke yesterday or 2 days ago, we spoke, and you don't need a real estate license to invest, right? But absolutely, real estate license can help. They can allow you to represent yourself and do other things as well. But just for the record, we do not need a real estate license to invest for all of us, right? Now, Gerald, if Rolando's getting into real estate investing and he's trying to track down his first deal, what would you suggest he do?
For one, you're already in the right group, right? So just reaching out to us, fellow investors, flippers, and wholesalers. These are we're the folks to connect with. So I'll be happy to connect with you and show you my systems in place that I do to go get deals. But other than that, man, right now I think it's just having to be around the right folks and just networking with the right folks.
folks. I mean, that's number one right now. So doing it, and then just finding which avenue you want to gravitate towards, whether that be door knocking, cold calling, or you can even pay for leads in certain markets. So however you want to be involved into the marketing process or just finding the deal, you got to figure that out for yourself. Do you have a 9 to 5?
Yeah, is that like my job 95?
Yeah.
Yeah, Monday through Friday. I been talking to my fiance though, right? Like I barely got back around to kind of that little system going with studying for the real estate, but my downtime I do try and study a little bit at work, in my office. And just recently, one thing that I noticed, because I started doing it to prep agent, and one of the webinars I was watching, that the main guy, forget his name, but long story short, says, you know, if you're studying, you need to already be networking. He's like, there's a lot of people that get their license, they just didn't communicate with anyone, and they don't know where to start, right? So you kind of put yourself in place.
So you're looking to become an agent?
I was, but then I had a talk with Trey, and I still am. I'm just gonna get my license, but I was more curious about how to flip like low income community homing and stuff like that, houses. I mean, I do have a lot of friends that are in construction, and I am trying to get into the construction management side of things with a builder here in the Central Valley. And I've been noticing that a lot of these guys out here in these new builds, they all do construction on the side, right? Everybody does their own thing aside from their regular jobs, and it's very interesting to me. So
let me jump in real quick. For the sake of time, let's do this. Jero and Rolando, can you guys send each other's contacts, right? I want you guys to connect. Jero has a wealth of knowledge. He's very generous with his time. He knows what he's talking about. If he doesn't know, he'll tell you, right? Let's dive deep in there. For the sake of, we've got about 40 minutes to go. I want to make sure we cover everything, and I want to make sure I give you guys all the value. And we're going to keep going deeper into this.
Okay.
So one of the things that became very apparent to me early on in my real estate career is I was networking first. I didn't have a license first, and I wasn't intentionally networking. That happens to be one of my strengths. That happens to be something that comes natural to me. So I was networking, talking about real estate, talking about investing, and then I was spending time with people that were doing flips and doing investing, had some connection with banks, things like that. But none of it was with the intention on ever invest. Truthfully, investing was never one of my goals. I just woke up one day, I was like, oh, I'm gonna buy this house, right? It was brought to me. And then I saw the results of others, and that's what gave me the direction. Nothing that I'm doing is new. And so I was able to find a deal, be around the right people. So I've never done any marketing when it comes to deals, even as a real estate agent or as a real estate investor, just being in the right circles. That's why I can speak from experience that networking is what's going to get you the deals for free. Networking is going to get you the deals and the information to go alongside the deals and the competitive advantage. Because Gerald can have a deal right now that he's going to put on the market. I can call him and say, Gerald, man, I want to get that property, see if we can do a deal. And he may have consideration for me simply because of relationship or a variety of other reasons. Maybe he's confident that I can close if I say I want to close. And so networking is so imperative. And again, I'm going to tell you, I was doing it on accident, but it's been very, very fruitful for me over the years. So as I begin to scale and help other people try to achieve their real estate goals, they were asking me the same question. Hey, where do I find deals? Where do I find deals? Well, even finding deals or giving them a deal was great, but then they didn't know how to analyze the deal and understand and really have a very formal strategy in the process. So today we're talking about realtor.com. Of the 4 that are in the community today, how many of you have a realtor.com account?
I believe I do.
I have one, but I haven't used it.
Gerald, what about you? Okay, so let me ask you a better question. From a formal approach of the MLS or Zillow or realtor.com or any other platform, do any of you have an account set up that's giving you the drip of the listings that are coming out every week or every day?
Yeah, I do have. I think I use Zillow. Zillow sends me every day new listings in like certain zip codes.
Okay. So are these for your clients or are these for areas that you're looking to find deals in?
They used to be for my clients. Now they're just kind of area codes that I think are high demand areas to me. I think across the board, I find like country club, 95203 area,
Right.
areas like that, I think are kind of high demand for certain people.
Right.
For a lot of first-time home buyers.
Right.
So I get a lot of notifications for when listings come out.
Okay.
In that area.
So here's why I asked, because so much of real estate investing can be very simple. Sometimes we always overcomplicate it about where to start. We just have to make progress. And so there's two things that are very important when you look at whether you're going to set up on Zillow or realtor.com or whatever the site is, MLS, you got to set it up. The thing about realtor.com is it's free, right? And the first component is knowing your market. A lot of people that are looking to invest really they have no strategy in which they're trying to track down deals. So what's the price point, right? What's the exit strategy? Is it local? Is it long distance? Like, what's your buy box? And so for me, I do probably 95206 in Stockton. I probably do 7 to 10 flips there a year, just in that zip code. So I know 95206 very well, meaning that when a property comes up on the market and they say it's a 3-2, well, all you have to do is show me a couple pictures. I own a home and country club. So when we analyzed the deal last week in regards to country club, I already know that area. I know that there's flood insurance in particular areas of that neighborhood. So by setting up a realtor.com account that's free, and you begin to zone in on a particular neighborhood and focus on that neighborhood, it's just so abundant in what the value it could bring to you. You really know what's trading in that market. When properties become listed, you see them. When they go pending, you see them. When there's price reductions, you see them. All the type of data that you're going to need to be able to make a good analysis of deals as they come to you, you're going to see them. So then the second component, after you really understand your market. So again, this drip campaign, when these emails are coming through my phone or I'm on the app, I'm looking at them every day. That doesn't mean I'm going to buy them. Okay, 310. Okay, 340, 330. So I know in this neighborhood, if it's 95206 for maybe a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom, I know they start at 300 to 325. I know for sure. So when somebody says, "Hey, Jake, I have a deal for you. It's in my 95206." I'm like, what's the size of it? It's a 3-2, 1,200 square feet. What do they want for it? I think I can get it to you for 300. Well, I already know that they're around 330 fixed up. So there's no money to be made. So I don't even worry about the deal. All I ask them, I say, "Is that the cheapest they'll go?" Yeah, they're pretty firm. See, I don't have to waste my time. I know the area already. Right. And so when you keep looking at this data and you see how this market changes, when you see the activity that's going on, it really allows you to have a strength in what you're analyzing, and you can do it quickly because time is money, right? You shouldn't have to take a deal, go home, pull up them, go run comps. I don't need to run comps. I need a range. If I have a range, then I can determine whether it's worth my time to actually go see the property. I'm not going to see every property. I get a lot of deals sent to me every day. Do I run to go see every deal? Because ultimately, I do need to go inside. They can send me all the photos they want. I need to go inside. But again, if I know the area where it trades at, and he's already telling me, or she's already telling me, yeah, they're at 300. They don't. There's no room. Well, there's no reason for me to go over there. Save it. Maybe it might be for somebody else, and I'm not mad. But I have to be very efficient about my time, and I can do that with strength by simply setting up realtor.com, setting up the notifications, and seeing what things are trading for in that area. We also talked about a property from Miguel last week that was in the country club area, and it's in a flood zone, I believe, right? And so had we executed that property, because it did seem like a deal, had we executed on that property, closed the transaction cash, a lot of times when you buy cash, there's no lender involved. So a lender would want to know if there's flood insurance required in the area. You'll push that deal through, improve the deal, and when you put it back on the market and you become surprised that it requires a flood insurance policy of $2,200 a year, that's going to completely kill your exit strategy. It can kill all your profit. It can have you staying on the market longer. And those are the type of things that I see people experience with lack of information, and that puts them out at real estate investing. And those are the stories where I hear people say, yeah, real estate investing is not for everybody. Well, that's a bad experience, right? And so that's what I'm preaching on the first leg of that race is simply setting up a realtor.com account is going to allow you to have the confidence, the information, and the tools you're going to need when you're looking for the next component of this is looking for your first deal, right? So when we're looking for our first deal, again, we talked about networking. For some of us working 9 to 5, we're limited on the type of networking we can do, but we should still do a ton of it if we make the right sacrifices, right? If we really are diligent about our time. But outside of even networking events and working with wholesalers, Facebook groups, buying different leads, whether it's pay-per-click or whatever shall be, it's free. If you have a realtor.com account and you're not a real estate agent, you don't even need MLS. When you set up the specs on what you're looking for, just as soon as it goes on the MLS, it'll pop up on realtor.com. And you're seeing, because you specifically say, look, I'm looking for properties at 200,000, 2-bedroom, 1-bathroom, 95204, year built or square footage looks just like this. As they're coming on the market, you can strike. Because you've been seeing this data for so long, you know a good deal. So when realtor.com drops it in your pot, you can call the agent quickly, get over there, analyze the property, make an offer. Success loves speed. And so I have been able to pick a few deals off of realtor.com. Now, again, I get deals from a variety of different areas. But if I was just starting and I don't have the bandwidth or relationships take a long time to build. Me and Gerald have a really good relationship. This was built over time, right? And so I can't expect, if I'm just getting into real estate investing and I don't have a track record of closing, I don't have a track record of being able to put an EMD in and coming up with the money to get it done. If I don't have leverage, there's these levers in real estate. Sometimes people will give you a deal or do a deal with you, one, because you guys have a good relationship like me and Gerald. But a lot of times in my experience, they'll do a deal with you because they say, man, you might have something I want later on. It's business. I'll give Jacob this property. 2 people that want to buy it for 200,000. This guy I don't know, and I got Jacob. I kind of don't know him either, but I know he gets listings. So how about I go with him, build that rapport? I'll throw him a bone, and maybe in the future we'll do some type of deal. I see it all the time. I know it happens, and I'm not mad at it because it's business, right? But understanding that is so important. So, but if we can't build those types of relationships because of time, or they take time to build, how can we get in front of good deals? There are less deals that come online, but they're there. And so by setting up a realtor.com account and seeing what's coming on, knowing where your neighborhood, your buy box trades, when these good deals come, you can strike fast. Then it goes from not so much that I need access to a deal because the deal will come on there, but now how do I execute? And that's something we'll get into. How do we negotiate? How do we get a realtor, whether you do something like have a realtor represent you. So if I saw something on realtor.com, 200,000, 95206, I know it trades at 3.25. Just looking at the pictures, I can put 40,000 and get it back on the market. I go over there, check it out. I'm calling the real estate agent, and I'm asking the real estate agent, I'm saying, hey, Kimberly, how you doing? This is Jacob Davenport. I'm doing good, Jacob. Hey, I know you got that listing on Roseline, just came on the market. I went by, I looked at the windows, I want to check it out. I have my hard money, I have my deposit, we're all ready to go. If I like it, will you represent me? She'll say yes, because she represents the buyer and the seller now. That's how you hedge it, right? You're not working with the real estate agent, you're going right in. Simply being able to spend cash, get there quickly, right? Knowing your market so you don't have to mess around. You don't even need her to analyze the deal for you. Hey, I want to spend this. Can you call your buyer now? So you're efficient. When she calls her buyer, she said, look, I just spoke to somebody. They're 200,000 cash. They can close in 7 days. They're ready to go. And I'm going to be representing them so I can manage the deal. So I can make sure they're honest. I can make sure we get over the hill. I can make sure they don't try to retrade the deal. That's negotiating from strength. And that's how you get in front of good deals. But success loves speed. You got to move quick, all right? And this is all free information. Realtor.com, networking with real estate agents, analyzing the deal based off the data you've been able to pick up through the drip campaign of realtor.com. What have you paid for? You kind of follow me? So what we're going to do, we're going to dive into the realtor.com app. And if you guys will, pull it up on your browsers. And here's what we're going to do. We're going to set up our realtor.com accounts. They're really straightforward. But for some reason, these simple, easy things we don't do. We make real estate investing so complicated because earlier on in this live, I asked, what platforms do you guys have set up? Rolando, can I pick on you, Rolando?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm like, okay, Rolando, what do you guys set up? Where are you finding the deals at? What are you doing, right? Is it a money issue? Is it this? man, I just don't, I want to get started in Fresno, and I just don't know where to start. I don't know where to find a deal. Well, we gotta find a deal that's in front of us. We already have capital partners. We have people that want to partner with us. My question is if networking is one thing that Rolando just talked about, that's something he knows to be true because multiple people told him this. He's a networker himself. But I would have to ask myself, how come we don't have our notification set up? What's our problem? Our problem is we need deals. We need to see what deals are trading for. So the next thing we're going to ask ourselves, well, how much is a property worth? How am I going to get that data? Well, sometimes it really is that simple. Now we have to slow it down for ourselves because real estate investing is such a big bite and very intimidating as you're trying to build the confidence, put the systems in place, and figure out where to start. And I always hear money. Like I said, I had a conversation with somebody yesterday where they said it was about money. I'm trying to raise my family. Things are complicated. Well, I would have asked that person, okay, what about finding deals? I said, bird dogging deals. What if you found a deal and you brought it to somebody in the school community and you split the profits with them? It's fair. That costs this much money. And that is the more efficient path than door knocking. That's a more efficient path than actually going to meetups because the type of time we have to give up, you can look for deals on realtor.com while you have your kids here. You can look at realtor.com while don't do this, Rolando, while you're driving your truck at work, right? Let me see what's going on. Right? And you might see a deal and you might not even have time to do it, but you can forward it. Let me send this to Zach. Zach, check this deal out, see if it's worth it. I'm on the road, I can't go check it out, but based off the drip campaign, I know what trades in this neighborhood. This one looks like a good one. Zach, get on it right now. Check it out. Let's partner on it. You're gonna make more money actually partnering than actually actively doing it because if you send somebody a deal, they're putting up the money and they're executing the construction component of it. You get to go right back to your 9 to 5 and keep working. If you made, let's call it $100,000, and you found a good deal, you pitched it to Zach. He closes on the deal, and the profit's $100,000. You might have been to the property once or twice during the construction, but you're walking away with $30,000. Let's say you put 3 hours into the deal, an hour analyzing it, you go to the property another hour, and then when you get ready to close, you go for another hour. That's 3 hours, you make $30,000. If you took down the property yourself to make the $100,000, do you understand how many hours at Lowe's, at Home Depot, at the notary, at the construction site, with the real estate agent, on open houses? You'd have to put in so many more hours just to make 100. So it's cheaper to be a partner. They say it's cheaper to keep her, right? It's cheaper to give somebody else the deal and you keep your time. That makes sense? What do you got, Rolando? What do you think?
Yeah, it makes sense to me, like, how what you're speaking of, right?
Yeah.
And I just went on realtor.com. I got my laptop in front of me. And
right on.
I just all I did was put my email in, and I have an account. But
You're all hooked up.
It's got homes in Stockton, California. It browsed me to Stockton, California.
Bingo.
But this is very interesting stuff. But I mean, what you're talking about is the same concept, like my concrete buddy, right? Or my flooring buddy. Like I could get him a job. Like, hey man, I got this guy that's looking for this type of work. Can you hook him up, right? And then like for every job I get him, he's paying me a percentage or something like that. Right? It's the same concept. In this case, it can be on a larger scale, depending on what you do, the amount of, how much you're willing to learn, and how much you're willing to involve yourself in these partnerships.
Right.
So, yeah.
Right. Yeah, and let me add something that's very constructive. Is it was many years before I got into realtor.com. I didn't always start with it, and it's always been at my fingertips. It's one of the basic fundamentals because there's so many different functions of investing: finding a deal, finding a money, making sure it's the right deal, connecting, listing it, selling it, buying it, right? And then you have some softer skills of having the confidence to do it, have the time to do it, have the organization to do it. Because until you've done several deals, it's hard to have that appetite to bite down on something that's so robust, right? So if you've never done it and you haven't done it several times, to understand what comes first, what comes second, what comes third. It doesn't come natural, right? And so when we look at realtor.com, it's so important because it is that simple. And I even struggle with it. And I don't want you guys to struggle with it because it's actually part of the secret sauce. Because we got to know these neighborhoods. We got to. Wherever you're going to be farming at, it needs to be very clear. I hear a lot of people say, oh man, I found a deal in Oregon, or I found a deal in Bakersfield. They're all over the place. Well, I said, well, how much is it worth? Well, it's kind of hard because the comps are all over the place. No, the comps aren't all over the place. You don't know Bakersfield, so you really shouldn't be out there looking at Bakersfield. Why don't you look in the neighborhood you were raised in? Why don't you look in the neighborhood which your current apartment or your house is? You know that neighborhood. You know if there's crime there. You know that your daughter and son go to school here. You know this neighborhood. Why overcomplicate it and say, I'm going to go to Bakersfield? That makes no sense. And then if you go to Bakersfield, what crew are you going to send out there? Now you're going to pay your crew double to stay in an Airbnb just so you can get the deal done? It's not that complicated.
Stay in your own backyard.
Stay in your own backyard. So for the purpose of realtor.com right now, I would encourage all of you, put your current zip code in there, where you live. And you should really know Miss William down the street, Sergio up the street, the neighbor behind you with the dogs that get through the fence. You should know what they're trading for. Nothing should get under your nose. Nothing should pass you about your neighbor. You should know it rock solid. You should also know the real estate agents that are going pending on these transactions. Because as you also have realtor.com set up, the other component you'll have is when you know what real estate agents always pop up in this area, then you know who has the listings. There's something called a pocket listing. Like for me, sometimes I maybe work with a client that says, hey, I'm going to be selling in August, right? So when you get these real estate agents and you call them, you say, hey, you say, Zach, I know you mine 95207. You got anything coming up that's a flip or anything in the near future? No, I don't got anything right now, but stay in touch with me. Okay, hey, I'm going to send you my email. Just put me on your campaign. Any flips or distressed properties you have, I'll take them. Right? The next week after that, whoever that real estate agent is, find out where their office is. You pop up over there at 9 o'clock in the morning, bring them a coffee, shake their hand. Hey, I just want to let you know I was Zach. We talked on the phone the other day. I know you work this area. This is the area I really focus on. I'm looking for a flip. I'm trying to make about 40 grand. I know you're a real estate agent. You can represent me. I'm ready to go. Here's my pre-approval. Let's stay connected. When you walk out of that office, you follow them on Instagram. You follow them on Facebook. These are all free activities that give you a competitive and comparative advantage of anybody else. So how are we going to find the deals? It costs no money, but it does require some skill sets or some practices like these that really allow you to get in front of deals. Nothing we discussed so far costs a single penny. I mean, bringing a real estate agent a coffee, that might be $3. Okay, I'll take that. I'll give you the $3 to buy them the coffee. I just want you to find a deal. I want you to put yourself in a position where nobody can really step foot at your front door when it comes to tracking down deals. Because the more deals you begin to close, you become a magnet. You become a brand. You continue to master and refine your skill sets that are attracting these deals. And at one point, you get to a point where you become inbound. You get so many deals that either you're wholesaling, you might give them away. I give away deals. Here, you want this? Here, you want this? I don't think I've ever charged. But by scaling yourself and doing those activities for free over a period of time, incrementally, so many deals that come to your front door, you won't even know what to do with them.
I got a quick question, Trey.
Come on, give it to me. I'm listening to you.
Okay, so I was kind of scrolling through the Fresno area. It's like, so would a deal be like, for example, I'm scrolling, there's this house for $199,000, 4-bedroom, 2-bathroom, looks decent. It says pending on it, but I'm assuming somebody bought it because they plan on flipping it. Because like it looks like. What's
the address?
I'm sorry.
What's the address?
3983 North 6th Street, Fresno, California 93726.
Give me 1 second. Let me take these filters off. said that's 3983
Yep, North 6th Street.
6th Street.
Yeah. And then there's two other ones that are like under 275. Well, there's one for 279 for sale, but I'm just like.
Well, let's look at this one. Let's look at this one. All right, so this is a 4-2, about 1,500 square feet. Lot size 7,980. We might be able to get an ADU back in there, right? That's another thing about looking at realtor.com is studying your neighborhood. You're always going to look at highest and best use, and everybody's trying to pull out these ADU plays, which are very beneficial plays. But there are so few that have been recorded. And so by watching realtor.com, you're going to see the ones and twosies that get recorded with these ADUs, and being able to make ADU sense in a quick decision when looking at property. That's where you're going to get a lot of gold.
What's an ADU?
An ADU is an accessory dwelling unit. So it's just like a small house in the back or the side. They can even be in the front, essentially. But long story short, and we'll dive into that actually next week. California allows you to add an additional unit on a property if it meets certain specifications.
We used to do that to our houses growing up in the ranchos.
There we go. It used to be hard to get the permits. Now they're very accessible. But when I look at this one for $199, right? It's been on the market for 24 days. Now, do you know this neighborhood?
No, I'm very familiar with Fresno in general.
How much do you think this house would sell for if it was repaired, fixed up?
Man, I think if it was for a 4-bedroom, 1,400 square feet, I'd say 275, 280.
Okay, terrific.
I don't know, but
no worries. But that's the whole, and I'm glad you said that, because that's the whole purpose of us setting up these notifications on realtor.com. Because we gotta know with concrete. Because if you know specifically how much it's gonna cost, right, and you can get in front of the deal, I'm 100% sure Jared will take the property down right now. 100%. I'm 100% sure if there's enough meat on the bone. So what I'm saying is you're going to get paid for your knowledge. People think they get paid for flipping a property. No, we get paid for our knowledge, our preparation, and our execution, right? So if this is 200, I can tell you immediately that kitchen is going to be about $20,000, right? And then you have sheetrock. I mean, it needs everything. To texture, it needs everything. You could. I mean, I'm just looking at it already. 1,500 square feet. You could drop $100,000 in there. So at $199, but it is pending. It was on the market 24 days. If it was on the market 24 days, maybe they negotiated a lower purchase price, right? Because most things are going pending within the first 3 to 7 days in this market, even with high interest rates, right? So somebody got ahead of it, and very likely they got a deal. But again, it goes back to knowing our market. But I want to make sure I stay on track, because when you set up your realtor.com account, you're going to see in the area. So initially on the first page, this is where you can set your search up, right? So you have filters. You guys all see that? You can set these filters up for the price range in which you want to purchase a property. So you can say, I want anything from $90,000 to $100,000, right? But this is how I'm gonna do it. I want to look at anything that's 130. Oh, forgive me. This is monthly. This is okay. Forgive me. There's monthly payment, and then there's property price. We're gonna go on property price. Monthly payment for people that are looking for home ownership, right? Not so much for people that are trying to do flipping or creative deals like that, because we're gonna acquire the property and do some improvements at a discount, and then be able to force a higher value, right? So I'm gonna go anything from 200 to 250. And for me, I want 2 bedrooms and 1 bathroom minimum. Now, oftentimes, when you have the two bedroom, 1 bathroom combination, that's probably the most least advantageous property to buy. But I always go 2-1 minimum, because a lot of times you can force and create another bathroom. You can add another bedroom. And those are the things I really like, because to add another bathroom, we can probably get it done for $6,500. But it can fetch us $30,000, $25,000 to $30,000 in additional value when we go back on the market. And so those are some of the specs that I look at, right? And then you got lot size. I'm not too curious about that. I'm not worried about the age. I don't want an HOA for sure. Let's see what those results get us. Let me see. Let me make sure I get this in. Forgive me. Property type. We don't want any condos either, right? I'll take a multifamily. No mobile homes, no farms. We'll apply that. I'm going to 95204. So this is 95204, 200,000 to 250. These are probably ones that have sold. This is for sale, right? This is 350. This one's 150. Let's see what this one looks like. Nope, that's a condo. We don't want that. But what we're looking at right here is in the 95204 area code, you're seeing the range be very, very broad. The far west side of it, you're seeing numbers above 500. That's right by the Delta, by the golf course. I know that area, right? This area also has a flood zone. But then I come back over here, it's the 5. On the opposite side of the 5, that's the sweet spot for me. There's still some flood zones, especially on the northern part of it as you get over here. But I like this sweet spot. Typically around here, you're not going to see flood zones. So this is 409. I calibrated it from 2 to 250. That means that if I can fetch a property at 250 and put 100,000 into it, my net is 350. You see numbers for 409 already pending. I know I'm trying to catch at least $50,000. So if the average homes in which I'm trying to sell to first-time home buyers are going to be between like $375,000 to maybe $500,000, I'm never going to be putting an offer on the house for $400,000. Because if I buy for $400,000, I put $20,000 into it. After all closing costs and other expenses, I'm back at $450,000, $460,000. So I know I need everything that's between 200 and 250 or lower if I can get it, right? But I know this market. I know this area. This is 335, older home, dated. For me, that house is priced too high. If they sold it to me for 250, I can put the candy on it. I can make it beautiful, and then I can go fetch that 425 or 425. Okay. So essentially, that's just what I'm getting at. I know that market. So for your neighborhood, when you set your drip campaign up, your profile up, you should know what the high end looks like. So Gerald, what area are you currently farming?
95204, 95209.
Okay, let's go with 95209. I like that area. What's the top end of properties in that area?
I couldn't even tell you, brother.
Okay, no worries. Ruby, how about you? Ruby, what areas? Because I know you're beginning your real estate investment journey, right? You're working on a property in, is that 95209 on Willow?
95205.
95205. Okay, so Ruby's working on a property right now with one of her clients in the 95205. That's like east side of Stockton, right? Do you know what the top end? How many bedrooms is that property?
3-1.
That's a 3-1. Do you know the range and price for the high end for 3-1s in that area? You should know this, Ruby. You're on the hot seat.
Yes, the high end in that area would be like a 370.
That is you are absolutely correct. I know that area. I farm that area. I work that area aggressively. The top end is 370 and 375. So now we're looking at comps and things of that nature. Now, if she's helping one of her buyers find something, they need to determine whether they like the property, if it's by a train track, and if they get their offer accepted and make sure to appraise it. So if they write 375 or 360, that would work for somebody trying to acquire the property. But since you know the top end for a 3-1 in that area is 375, we really shouldn't be looking at anything for more than 250. Because if you buy it for 250 and you put 50 in it, if we're lucky, we put 50 in it. Now we're at 300,000. Now you're all in, but plus you have closing costs. You represent yourself. You have escrow. You have agency fees. You're in it at 3.25. So if your eggs at 375, you can make 50 grand. So I'm saying that if you're telling me the top end is 375 for a neighborhood, the way you should have your realtor.com calibrated, it should be in a way that properties are always going to make sense if they're deals. That makes sense?
Yes.
Rolando.
Yeah.
Where your office is, where you pick up your truck to go to work every morning. Do you know how much homes are going for in that area?
Yeah, that's off the Central Avenue in 99.
How much are homes going for in that area?
That's closer to Fowler. I'm like 15 minutes away. I would say houses are cheaper on that side.
All right, you can give me the top end of a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom.
There, I would say high 300s.
High 300s.
Yeah.
If they're high 300s, right? Let's call it 400. Let's round it up. Call 400,000.
Yeah.
That means if you're fetching something in that area, it's you have to know the neighborhood. You have to know what they're selling for on the high end, and we're going to establish that. But we also want to see when they're distressed, when they'll only go cash. What are those things going on the market for, or what they're closing for? Because one level of it is to understand this market and what they're trading for. But the next level to it is, Rolando, you're going to be getting in front of these real estate agents because you're going to be a freaking deal machine, right? Yeah. You're going to own that market. There's nothing anybody's going to be able to tell you. They're going to say, oh, yeah, there was one on Fowler. You're going to say just like this. Was it green? Was it green with a fence? Oh, yeah, I saw that. What was it? Did the roof have a hole in it? Yeah, I know that one. Yeah, that one went for 185. That's how it goes.
Yeah, there's 3 actually in Fowler for sale. 2 for 2, 1 for 249, 215, and then another one for 190.
What's the condition?
They look good. I mean, they can use fixing and remodeling and all that good stuff.
Right.
I mean, you can definitely, there's flip side like margin here for sure.
Well, when you say flip side margin, the question would be that the ones that you said 375.
Yeah, that's what I would imagine. Yes, like a renovated, nice little 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom.
And how much are they for sale for right now?
Older homes, 249, 190, and 215.
So let's take the one at 215. If it's 215 and it needs 75 grand, right?
Yeah. That
puts us at 290. Let's call it 300 grand. And you said they're comping out on the high end at how much?
I'd say 400. 375, 400. Oh, but right now the ones that are selling, the highest one is 249. Yeah, so we're at 250. There's probably not a whole lot of money to be made on those deals. Yeah. And so again, this is your process, Ricardo, and I'm proud of you because what's really going on here right now is you're taking this theory of real estate because you just said it's divided in 2 different parts of town. There's the Fowler side and then there's the other side. You take this theory of what property is being worth, and Realtor.com is making it very crystal clear for you. And again, this will blow my. You already really impressed me. Your tenacity, your intelligence, your hunger, all those things are really impressive. But what would really, really blow my mind is if I saw you at a meetup and somebody says, "Oh yeah, I have a deal in Fresno." I have a deal that I mean, like I said, Gerald's a wholesaler. Yeah, I have it on Fresno over in the Fowler area. It's off Christina Street. And you say just like this, is it yellow? I know that one. Because you really become a guru of the area you're farming. And when you can do that, it's not so much about I want to show that I'm right. When you can retain that information because you've mastered the neighborhood, and Gerald says, yeah, I have one at 180. Yeah, I know that one on Christina Street is yellow. You know, even if it's fixed up, I mean, I haven't been on the inside, fixed up, it only go 250. I'll look at it. But I think that minimum it should be at 125 if somebody's gonna make some money. And then Gerald says, look, man, I just gotta move it. I can do it for 125. Now your knowledge becomes your advantage and nobody can beat that. And now you can move fast because success loves speed. And then when you start connecting with private money and hard money individuals, one of the things I want to
insert right now is that when you go to a hard money individual the first time, and they're gonna say, show me 5 of the properties you closed in the last 24 months. You're gonna say, I have it. It's my first one, right? Well, they're gonna say, tell me a little bit about the property. When you say this, I think it's 1,200, and I think it can go for 300, and I think they will not deal with you. You got to kick down the door, kicking butt. Yeah, the comps are 300 over there. I've done all the work. I'll send you some of the comps, and I've also been by the property. There's 2 that sold around the corner for this amount of money, and I'm confident money can be made. In fact, on this one, because I'm a little conservative, I made sure I negotiated so I can protect myself suppose something happens. That's how they want to hear you talk. But you can't have that data if we don't use something like realtor.com to become an expert, a guru in the neighborhood in which we're farming. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, let's do some quick Q&A because we're rounding third base. What I was going to do is I was going to walk everyone through this realtor.com, but it's very straightforward. Set your email up, set your passcode up. Make sure you go here. I will say this. When you go to more, right, you're going to go over to more, go to notifications. Make sure you have your notifications set up, whether you want them once a day or whether you want the notification to pop over as the properties come available. Even if, Rolando, you're getting your license. Gerald, you sell some property too. Ruby, you sell property too. Zach as well as you, right? MLS is horrible the way it even does this whole platform. It's not very user-friendly. But by you mastering your neighborhood, when your clients get properties, you can strike quick too. And there's nothing better than, as you begin to invest, tell you a trick. I create my own inventory. That's a concept a lot of people don't understand. So I'll buy a property, I'll fix it, I'll sell it, make a profit off my flip. But in this market where there's not a lot of inventory and it's hard to get listings, I create my own listing. So this becomes part of my marketing campaign. And then I represent myself on the sale. And I build relationships because when I get offers, I pick the agent I want to work with. If Zach calls me and say, hey, Jake, you got that property coming on the market. I want to check it out. All right, man, come by my office. Come get the key. It's not even on the market yet. Come get the key here. No problem. Matter of fact, Zach, let's grab a bite to eat real quick. When you create your own inventory, you create your own progressive motion that allows you to continue to grow your brand, essentially contributing more to your own real estate investment journey. That makes sense? There's power in dropping a sign in the ground. That's how you continue to build more relationships. Because if they say in real estate, if you list, you'll last. And so that's just in short. But let's do a Q&A because we have a few more minutes here. Ruby, you go first. What do you got?
My question is, do you need to have your, like on realtor.com, is it like, do I need to put my, like a business account or just like a regular account?
You can do just a regular account. So the question that Ruby was asking is, when I create my realtor.com, do I want to create a business account as if I was a lender or an agent, or do I want to be essentially a consumer? It really doesn't make a difference. The only thing we want, this is what I want us to do. We're each of Ruby, Zach, Gerald, Rolando, wherever you guys live, whatever zip code you live in, I want you to set up your realtor.com account to your neighborhood. This is, if you find a deal this week, great. This is more about getting into the habit of having the notifications pop up. You open it up and you begin to get familiar with your eyes and the way you learn and process things of, oh, this is what it looks like from my perspective when these deals come on the market. Most agents, they look on the MLS every day for property, but there's nothing very tailored directly to them. So when those emails come up, when I get the emails from like MLS, I just get rid of it. I get rid of it because I'm so busy. I don't have time. I don't want to read it. But this is not that. This is a different form. This is me. My assignment is to master my neighborhood and see what's going on in my neighborhood. And if you say, hey, I want to be a success in real estate, this is something that you have to commit to this week. So when you set your profile up, it doesn't make a difference as long as you're getting the inventory for the area you live in and you're seeing what things are trading for. That's what you're doing. What are things going for? What are things going for in my market? How many days are they staying on the market for? And when they close, are there concessions? Was it a seller credit? This is the type of data we need, because when you go to make an offer, there's nothing worse than making a silly offer. Oh yeah, the agent says, well, look, I'll represent you. I'm representing the seller. Let's get you in. What do you want to offer? Well, what's the lowest they'll take? Yeah, get off my phone. Get off my phone. I'm looking to work with leaders. I'm looking to work with serious people. I'm looking to work with people that say, listen, I want to make an offer at 225. Here's the thing I haven't seen on the inside. Based off the pictures, as long as I don't have any surprises, I'm probably going to be at or around there. Is that something we can do? And I'm available tonight between 3 and 7. If you're available, if not, maybe even tomorrow morning when I drop my daughter off, I'll make myself available. When can I get in? Well, the property only been on the market for 20 minutes. Oh, I know. I'm ready now if you're ready. Well, you know, it's funny. I have to go put my MLS box on at 3 o'clock. I'll meet you there. Get there. Hey, how you doing? I'm Jacob Davenport. Pleasure to meet you. Thank you for taking the time out. I'm ready to write the offer right now. Boom, let's go. That's how you get deals. Success loves speed. Anything outside of that, playing with it. Right? That's the type of momentum we move with. And the more deals and the more success you have, the more momentum you have, the more velocity you have. And when you have deals and you put deals in place and you make money, it's the law of attraction. People will bring you deals. Okay, that makes sense?
Yes. I live in the 95209 area. If you need any information, Gerald, I can give you any information I can. I know you said that's your farm area. 95209.
Absolutely. Okay. Yeah, I'll reach out to you if you could drop your phone number.
Okay.
Perfect. Zach, what you got? You got your notification set up?
I'm setting it up right now. I'm at an open house, so I kind of got horrible service, but I got my account made. I just gotta, I set myself a reminder for 1:30 when I'm over, when I'm done here to. Good. Set that up. Sit down and set it up because I got horrible service at my open house. But I'm actually doing one in 95209. It is a flip. Friend of mine, Trevor, he just did it. Here, let me see if I can flip my camera around somehow.
Oh. Are you? Oh, you're there now. Oh, look at you. Look at you. How many bedrooms is that?
3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms.
Don't tell us the price. 3 bedroom, 2 bathroom, 95209.
But just under 1,300 square feet.
Okay, don't tell us the price. Don't tell us the price. Don't tell us the price.
I'm not.
Okay, that's 95209. Ruby, how much is that property worth? Everything's remodeled. New flooring, new kitchen, new bathroom, tile showers. It's white and black. Let's see. Can we see the outside? 95209. How much is that worth? Gerald, how much is that worth?
I'm looking at the app right now. I'm guessing somewhere around the low 400s.
Give me something solid. For what?
439.
I got it listed at 459. So you're close.
Okay, Zach, where the comps at?
The comps are, I think that they're a little lower than what they have it listed at.
Okay.
I looked at them on Friday, and they're a little low. So I thought around maybe 445, 450 is what I thought.
How many days you been on the market?
Today's day 10.
Okay. Any offers?
Not yet. No.
Okay. Do you know any objections of why somebody's not submitting an offer? Is it price, condition, or location?
I think if anything, it might be price. And I had someone yesterday who wanted it. They like it, but it's short 1 bedroom. So,
there you go.
I haven't heard any major complaints about it, or in terms of location or price or anything like that. So,
now let me jump in real quick. When I specifically say set it up in your neighborhood and keep an eye on it, because here's the thing. Rolando got the heat. Rolando was in the hot seat earlier. Ruby was in the hot seat. I put myself in the hot seat. But this goes for Ruby and Gerald. When Zach went on the outside of that property and showed that video, it should have been, oh, that's the yellow house. Somebody should have been able to say the street. Even if not the street, they should have been able to say, oh, that one, that's the 3-2 with the pond in the back, right? With the new roof, right? That means you've mastered your neighborhood. How can you negotiate from strength if we're forming a specific neighborhood if we don't know data? Businesses, especially in this time, they die because of lack of data and not applying the right data. Because when you listen to your consumers will give you data and you can make the appropriate adjustments. We're investors, right? We have to know the data so we can make the right decisions, all right? We got about 2 minutes, but you guys are all doing great. I'm not even coming down hard on anybody. I just want to set the standard. Anybody outside of Deal Mastery 101, I'm not, they can do whatever they want to do. I want to set the right standard. Is we got that's the yellow house. That's the one with the roof. We got to get there. Imperative. If you get there, you crush it. You can smoke your competitors out because if the margins are tight, you know exactly where you need to be. You could lose a deal over $5,000. You could say, man, I want it for $225. Well, we already have somebody at $225. I'll go $230. I wish I had 5 less, but I know my numbers because I know my neighborhood. I know what it closed for. I can move. Now that's one more deal. So many deals I've gotten by smoking somebody out by $5,000. Oh, that's too much. Okay, get out the way. I got it because I know my data. You see what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Right on. Hey, so Gerald is going to be bringing us some value. He does a whole lot of wholesaling. He and I are working together to kind of put something together for the community. That way, not only, it's not like we're necessarily all trying to become wholesalers, but you have to understand how wholesaling works. Gerald's going to be working with me with that. We're going to put something in front of you guys in the near future. Zach and I are working on some things as well. Rolando, can we give Rolando a round of applause? Rolando, hey man, no, seriously. Rolando's taking a step out and being very vulnerable, all right? And when I say vulnerable, he has some big dreams, just like all of us, right? But when he and I had a conversation the other day, he was just open book. He said, man, I'm trying to get to it. And it really fired me up, all right? It really did. Ruby, thank you so much. Today's Ruby's first day. She hopped on.
I gotta go.
All right, we'll talk to you soon, Ruby.
Bye.
All right.
Thank you.
Hey, Zach.
Good luck.
Zach, Gerald, you guys keep grinding, man. I'm proud of you guys. You guys obviously been doing this a lot longer, but that doesn't mean we're not going to continue to step up our standards and continue to do things together that can bring value to each other, but also bring value to the community. I just want to tell the both of you, thank you so much.
Thank you, bro. Of course.
Okay, if you guys have any questions, drop it in the group. Any new concepts, any questions that you think you might benefit from or the group might benefit from, drop it in our community. We'll keep grinding. We'll make it happen. And I'll see you guys next Sunday, 9 o'clock.
Yes, sir. I'll be here.
All right, and you guys take care. Thank you so much. I appreciate you.
Yep.
All right, see you soon.
Boom.
What do you think? It's okay.
You left that one?
What do you have on this screen right here?